hit 100 subscribers yesterday. And I was so very excited to film today. I was going to send the kids to school and do the thing. But honestly, I got to be real with you guys. I am hardly filming this. Right now, over the past week, this is what I've dealt with. My husband had his wisdom teeth pulled and he came out of general anesthesia and we had to deal with that, okay? Then, finally, we make it through the weekend. My son has pink eye. And then, guess what? This morning I wake up and my daughter has a fever and then she proceeds to get sick. And so I didn't know if today was going to happen, but actually I settled the kids down and I was like, you know what? How freaking perfect is it that this is happening on this special 100 subscriber video? Because that is truly what I wanted when I started this channel. Was I wanted a place for parents to come to where it's not all sunshine and rainbows and it's not dark and gloom every single day. It's somewhere in the middle, that we have a place where we can enjoy as much as we can out of the things we enjoy. And no, you don't have to enjoy when your kids are sick, and you don't have to be like, isn't this great? I want to enjoy every moment, because you don't. I did not enjoy cleaning the sink this morning. So all of that rambling to pretty much say that I am ready and I am corny. And if you're new here, I'm Kristen and I'm a teacher. I have 2 kids and I'm really happy you're here. So let's get started with the topic on why you clicked here. Let's talk about the most common mistake parents make. It's that they jump in too early. Jumping in too early means that you are not giving your child an adequate amount of time to face natural consequences. For example, I don't want to put on my jacket, but it's cold outside. You need to put on your jacket, and then forcing them to put on their jacket. Or, I'm fine with the homework just the way it is. And then you say, well, you really need to fix it because it's not neat handwriting and this problem's wrong. I'm fine with it. And then you make them fix it. Will there be times when you don't let your child out in 5-degree weather? Of course. We're not talking about extreme situations. We're talking about developmentally appropriate situations where we allow our children a little bit of space to make mistakes so that they can learn in a healthy way. What are the side effects of helicopter parenting or overprotecting our children? The research shows that they are more prone to anxiety and depression, that they are more prone to higher levels of narcissism, that it even affects their body with gastrointestinal issues down the road. They become indecisive, lower self-esteem and confidence, more prone to bullying. They become dependent on you and they are completely afraid to make mistakes. And they shy away from opportunities that could really help them. Obviously, none of us are protecting our children because we hope that one day they'll be narcissistic or have gastrointestinal issues. That is not why we do it. We do it with very good intentions, but it's so important to understand that as our kids are growing, they have little pains and problems. And if we protect them from those little pains and problems and we don't allow them to problem solve as they grow, suddenly they're gonna walk off into the world, they're gonna get hit in the face by like dodgeball-sized ball, break their nose, and be overwhelmed and not know how to handle the world. So what are we gonna do instead? I named this channel Mommy Breakdown, and my little catchphrase is, I break it down so you don't have a breakdown. I did the research. Let me tell you what the experts say to do instead. The research says that we are to allow our children to face natural consequences as they go. So I'll start you off with a story that I'm dealing with right now. My 9-year-old is at a place where she does not want to wash her hair whenever it's time to wash her hair. Now, when she was younger, I made her do it because she was not capable of understanding how important it is. But now, as she's getting older, she'll go, Mommy, do I have to wash my hair today? And I go, well, you didn't wash it yesterday. And after some time, I would wash my hair if I were you. And she goes, well, I don't want to wash it. And I go, you know what? If you don't want to wash it, that's fine. Just be careful, because if you don't wash your hair, it might start to stink. And then other people might start to smell your hair. But if you're okay with having, a little bit of a smell coming out of your hair, then that's fine. It's your hair, and I know you're old enough. If you feel like it doesn't need to be washed, then you don't have to wash it. Holy camole, guys. The power that you can have by taking that monkey off of your back and putting it on your child when they're old enough or developmentally able to understand is beautiful. Because then you know what my daughter said? She was like, oh, well, I guess I'll wash it then. You have to make it seem like it's not you. Like, it's not like an I told you so. Like, you're going to be stinky and whatever you want to do. Like, no attitude. Just, I would wash my hair if I were you. Kind of a thing. Another example, which we talked about earlier in the video, was the jacket thing. Create a time when it's not that cold outside and you go outside and your child's a little cold and you go, oh, wow, you got little bumps on your arms and, oh, your teeth are chattering and your body's a little tense and oh, are you uncomfortable? Do you want to go back inside and get the jacket? Try to create scenarios in your life where your child makes mistakes and you are there to support them while they're making the mistake. Another one with my older child is if she gives me her homework and I see out of 10 problems, there are 3 wrong. This is what I do. Is I'll say, oh, wow, you understood these 7 problems. You know how to multiply this, or you know how to answer a main idea question, whatever. I say all of this stuff that she knows. And then I go, there are 3 wrong. And she goes, well, is that fine? And I go, well, of course. I mean, if you want to turn it in with 3 wrong, that's totally up to you. Do you want me to explain to you why those 3 are wrong so you understand it? Or are you comfortable just not knowing it? Toss it back on your child as they get older. Obviously, you're not going to do this with a child who's not capable of understanding. Think about where your child is and allow them some space to make mistakes. Another example with a young child could be sharing. So let's say you go on a play date, you've been dealing with a sharing issue with your child because, well, they're a toddler and they have trouble sharing, right? And you talk to your friend ahead of time and you go, listen, I've been working on sharing with my child. Is it okay if I just kind of play along with something? Sure. Your friend will be like, sure. And then you sip your Celsius or your coffee or whatever. You're like, let's do this. Okay. So your child is playing with the truck and then their child wants to play with the truck. And you go, oh, I see Joey wants to play with the truck. No, I want to play with the truck. And you go, oh, you want to play with the truck. Then give it a minute, okay? Because it's coming. Then later on, Joey, make sure, do this, set it up. Make sure that Joey has like the coolest toy. Like all of a sudden you bring out a toy and Joey gets to it first, right? And then your child is like, oh, I want to play with that. And you go, oh yeah, you want to play with that. And then guess what? Joey doesn't want to share it, right? Because he didn't share. And then you're going to point that out. You're going to notice, guys, use these conflict opportunities. So then you look at your child and you go, oh, Joey doesn't want to share that toy. He really likes that toy. And you know what? Earlier when you were playing with the truck, you didn't want to share the truck with Joey. So I don't know if Joey wants to share with you because you didn't share with him. That's a perfect opportunity to have natural consequences. Another one might be that they don't want to clean up their room. So allow them to have the toys out, right? And then you go in there and step on a toy, right? You're creating these scenarios and you go, ow, you kind of scream from the other room, ow, and they hear you and they come running, ow, 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 I stepped on your Bakugan and it hurt mommy so very much. I didn't see it on the floor because the toys are usually in the bin and because it was on the floor, mommy stepped on it. And then give some space. Give some time and space for them to digest it. You're not attacking them, you're noticing. Another thing is if they can't find something in their room, don't solve it for them. Their room is a mess, especially if you have an older child. Go, wow, it must be really hard to find that paper you need for school with everything everywhere. And then you offer help, of course. We don't abandon our children. The research says to give them space to face the natural consequences and then help them problem solve. So what I encourage you to do over the next week or so is find opportunities where your child is about to make a mistake and don't save them. If it is a mistake that is age appropriate, developmentally appropriate, you have the time and the mental capacity to help them through it, allow them to make that mistake. And then once they make that mistake, you're there to provide empathy and then to help them problem solve. As parents, we have so much power, but there is power in space, there is power in silence, and there is power in support. We are going to allow our children space to grow, silence to think, and support to work through their problems. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Bye.